Welcome to the Whale Podcast number 4. This episode has guest Chofly Elite, aka my good friend and fellow YouTuber Brad. He does Raid Shadow Legends, so we talk briefly about Raid, but we do talk everything, including he does finances and stock trading, so we talk about that. We talk a little bit about YouTube and what it's like doing a variety of YouTube content, and even life during the COVID and some other things. So love y'all. Please enjoy this one. Like if you like it, subscribe if you're new, and welcome my friend Brad, and let's roll the intro.
Whale Pod. Welcome, Whale Pod. Don't forget to subscribe. This is Darth Microtransactions channel, and we're gonna have some fun tonight. Whale Pod, welcome back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Whale Podcast, the show where the content doesn't matter and the likes are made up. And today I am brought in part by my good friend, Brad, a.k.a. Chofly Elite.
What's up, man? Good to see you again.
Yeah, it's good to see you, too. Now, if you guys don't know, which I don't know why you wouldn't know, if you don't know, me and Brad have known each other basically since the beginning of both of our YouTube channels, as far as it goes. And I played like one game before, but we were basically the same size the whole time. And we started roughly around the same time. And I played Star Wars, and then we met in Round. We played Star Wars briefly, and then we met in Raid right around, I think we both had like 4,000 subs or something at the time, and then we played Raid all the way up until recently, and then I stopped playing Raid, and he has continued to play Raid. And so we haven't really had a chance to catch up, and since we've been doing kind of opposite things, haven't had a chance to do a collab, and I'm glad to have you today. So I guess my first question is just, how have you been?
Yeah, good. Everything's kind of status quo, I guess, since the last month or so since we talked. Yeah, nothing super different in my life. I know I don't share that in common with you. There's kind of a lot that's changed in terms of your content life. So I'd like to kind of learn what you've been doing and how things have been going for you.
So I'm basically just experimenting with a whole bunch of stuff, to be honest. So I know that there's a lot of people that want to see Exos Heroes already, because people have already told me to do Exos Heroes. So I'm doing a little bit of Exos Heroes. I've been trying Marvel, because I went into their content creator program, which actually does have an NDA, by the way.
Wow, okay.
And so I went into that one, and it's pretty cool. They give you a lot of information and footage and stuff, so you can like have that to work with, before.
Do they give you in-game resources?
No, it's nothing. No, no one gets that. They're very like strict with that stuff. It's like not even a drop anywhere.
Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing compared?
Well, in the type of game it is, where it's shard based, meaning the people who start around the same time are competing with each other. That way, it's like fair. It's definitely a good thing that you don't get free resources, because I can tell you right now, if I got almost any amount of free resources, I would just skyrocket like all the way at the top of the arena, and then that's taking spots away from somebody else. And it isn't in like Raid, where if you just take gold 4 is gold 4. It's like rank 1, it pays out like 10 times what rank 50 does, It's one of those type of things. It's kind of like the Clash of Clans style, the top people get the most.
Much more layered.
Yeah, exponential rewards, basically. So for that reason, yeah, it's definitely good you don't get that.
Okay, cool. So do you have like an obligation? How many videos you have to make or anything?
No,
like
it's
that?
really just the only thing it is they just have the NDA just so you don't like say what's coming to the game before they do, basically. Okay. It's just like real standard stuff. There's nothing weird in it. It's just, okay, we'll give you the info, don't blab, don't, here's and then they end up releasing like a day or two afterwards anyway, for the most part, so we get just a little bit of time to see it, which is cool. And
time to prep a vid or something.
Yeah, or just read it the morning before for time zones or whatever. It's actually like a pretty simple system, to be honest. They did plug one of my videos to like their Facebook, their Twitter, and like their Discord, which I thought would be huge. I'm like, their Facebook's like 250,000 or something, and that video got like 2,000 views. So I was like, holy moly. So what I think I learned about that is, I don't know if it's something with YouTube where embedded views don't count. No one was interested in watching it on those embedded views, or if it's the type of thing where it's like I messed up with the premiere. Because I did a situation, this is a YouTube learning thing, where I did it as a premiere, but I had it unlisted for days before. And then I premiered it after. So I don't know if that messed it up, or it could have just been a crappy video. I actually thought that video was going to do quite well because it was an interview with one of their Marvel guys. But so I'm learning things about YouTube on that side of it.
I've wondered that, like, you know how all these content providers nowadays have Discord servers, and like when you post a video, it sends it out as an announcement or whatever.
Right.
If people on Discord just like watch the video on Discord, I wonder if that gives you anything on YouTube or counts at all.
So I was very curious about this, so I looked a little bit into it. And to be fair, I wasn't able to get like 100% from Google this information, but the consensus I saw was this, is that external views count less than a full-on impression from YouTube. So for instance, if someone sees a video, goes to YouTube naturally, finds your video naturally, it is worth more to the algorithm in terms of how many more people will see it than if they click play on an embedded video and it counts as an external view. And plus, me and you both know you can see that in your analytics. You can see where it says external and it breaks it down. So the system knows. So I'm learning a bit about that stuff too, and I'm learning about when you change games, you know, your whole system of algorithm on the channel changed drastically. So you have to relearn. You know, it's been actually a pretty informative process during this whole time.
Yeah, and you had said, you know, I had just started my channel and whatnot, but I actually did do content for a long time for StarCraft and Diablo.
That's true,
3,
you did.
Before I met you, and then when I started my raid channel, because I didn't want to spam my hardcore PC gamers with mobile games. So
yeah, it makes sense. That's a difference.
Because you see how that went for Blizzard at BlizzCon. So.
Yeah, no, well, you guys not have phones? That should have been your answer to them. What?
Yeah, so I didn't want to do that, so I made a new channel, and then that's when I met you, kind of like a month or two after that.
That's true. You did. So, my next question. Are you ready for this one, Brad?
Uh-oh.
I got you a really hard one to get.
This never goes well.
All right. What is the latest, most exciting thing that has happened in game?
For raid?
Yeah.
The latest, most exciting thing. I mean, I guess them finally sending the Bazaar to be live, which would be like the arena shop. But it was received pretty negatively, which shouldn't be a massive surprise because obviously everything's
so
layered.
I saw the titles of videos. I didn't really watch or read anything on it. Mm-hmm. Why is it not going so well?
Well, they locked the rewards based on what tier you get to. Like, you can't buy a legendary book unless you get to the gold.
Okay, I did 3v3. See that. You're right.
My biggest issue with the Bazaar or 3v3 arena in general is that it's locked to a specific number of players and not a percentage. So, like, in the whole world, it's like top, 1,000 get gold or get gold 4, and then top like 5,000 get gold 3, where like that prevents it from growing with the player base. It should be a percentage, like in Overwatch, top 2% are Master League.
I like that.
Top 10% are Diamond. Like, it's not locked to a specific number of players. That's
Marvel's Blitz system has that as well, which is like a system of rewarding you in the latest tournament. And that's just by doing battles, and it's done by the percentile as well. So it's like the top 1 to 15%, that by 16 to 30, etc. I think that is a better system, probably.
No, that's way, way better. I don't know why they did a flat number. It's just like artifacts, flat stats, terrible, and in rankings, flat rankings, terrible.
So am I correct in seeing when I saw in the announcement? Because again, I'm skipping through these. One of the announcements, Discord pinged me, woke me up, and they said that they're working on the green status bar again. Is it still a thing where you can be green and still not get promoted? Is that still a thing?
I guess supposedly. I've never personally experienced that bug, but I guess supposedly it'll show you that you're going to get promoted, and then you don't get promoted. So supposedly that green bar is not accurately reflecting for whatever bad, unlucky people just that end up on the bad side of things and don't get promoted when they thought they would. I mean, you know how it is. It's hard for them to implement something without something being broken or crashing or destroying or burning or.
I would say it's just raid, but it's really not. I mean, even in Marvel, it seems like every time they come out with something, there's a bug. But what's hilarious is in Marvel, a lot of times it's like they accidentally release too many rewards. seems to be the go-to bug. They actually we accidentally released that one earlier. That person got 10 times too much gold or something.
Oh yeah, so it's actually a good thing instead of it's like an overly good thing.
Well, yeah, true. I mean, there is still bugs, but it's one of the first games I've seen where that's happened. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, that's very rare.
Yeah, normally they don't do that one. I just realized how pale it looks. I do look like I'm underwater here. I don't know what's going on with the lighting. I look like a vampire.
Oh, well, that's all right. Do you get a lot of sun?
Yeah, actually. I got like 8 windows right here, but you know what? It's probably because
I was talking about indoor sun. Like, do you get outside? Do you get sun? Like sunlight, vitamin D?
Yeah, that's where the windows come into play. There is 8 windows directly in here. You know, I actually bought a motorcycle recently, which was kind of fun. So I've been driving. There's the sand dunes about 30 minutes away, so I've been going down to the sand dunes. But we haven't had that many nice days. It's been kind of cloudy, kind of gray out.
Yeah, it's been hot here. I mean, I probably get like 30 or 40 minutes of sun a day. I try to get outside and do something every day instead of just sitting here rotting as a content provider. But
I have to walk to my mailbox, which ironically, there's a mailbox like literally at the end of my driveway. Like one of those huge multi-locked ones. It's just right at the end of the driveway. That's not my mailbox. My mailbox is like 8 houses that way. And it doesn't make any sense why you would think it's literally in front of my house. You would think that would be my mailbox. It's all, I'm in a quad. It's all 3 of my neighbors, just not mine. Mine's 8 houses that way.
Oh yeah, okay. So who else have you had on your podcast?
All right, listen. Episode number 1 was J Gigs. Episode number 2 was the senior 3D animator for Marvel Strike Force.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna have to go listen to that one.
Episode number 3 was Clash with Eric from Aftershock Media, and the Clash of Clans guy. And you are episode number 4.
Cool, awesome. So three very worthy guests and 1 trash can. So, okay.
I'm going to tell J Gigs you said that. You hear that? You hear that, J Gigs? He's coming for you.
No, that's awesome. Those are all good.
Dude, I'm such a pile of So I keep getting these rap beats. Okay, here's what I do. You hear a story about how I've boned J Gigs twice now. So me and J Gigs love doing these raps, okay? And we'll get these rap beats, and I'll be like, let's make this rap song. And I'll get like 12, 16 bars, something done. I'll send it to him. He comes back. He sends something, and it's just like phenomenal, dude. Every time he murders it, it's flawless. Yeah. And I'm like, God. So then I go back, and I'm like trying to make something, and I'll just choke. I'll choke both times, and it'll take me like 2 weeks to get something done, right? I've done it twice now. I swear to God, J Gig. I know J Gig is going to watch this. You see me? It's getting done at some point. That's a promise. At some point in my life, in the next 50 years.
Yeah, see, like I wanted to do like a rap parody, like a funny rap battle, like player base versus Polarium or something, like something that's funny. And then when I saw how ridiculously god tier J Gigs is, I was like, okay, like I'm just not gonna bother embarrassing myself. Like
he's pretty good, man.
If that's the standard in the raid community, like you've got me who's like a 2 or a 3 out of 10 at trying to act like I can rap on a beat, and then you got J Gigs who's a 10 out of 10, just making everybody look stupid.
I'll let myself get destroyed on my own feature, but I'm cool with it. I gotta get the work ethic down. Just gotta sit down and grind it out. Have you been doing? You've been telling me you've been investing in stocks lately.
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love everything investing. I worked at a bank. I come from the financial industry, and I study that stuff. 1 or 2 hours a day. Keep my ear to the ground on companies and their earnings and the hot trends in investing. I love that stuff. I want to do a second channel for it at some point. I've been saying that for 6 months. It's hard to get the time to launch a second channel, but.
Speaking of that,
did you planning a second channel?
Did you see my stupid one I made called Darth Stock Market, where I just started with $500 and the most liked comment on every single video picks what it goes? So like the first one was they voted Tesla. So the $500 went to Tesla. And then Tesla lost us like $30, so $475 went to RICK, which is some adult like graphic material thing that someone voted on, whatever. So it went to that, and we are currently trying to sell. No one's even going to buy it. And then we're going to, whatever's left with it, it's going to be like $400 left or something. It's going to go with the next most upvoted one. I haven't looked at the comment for the previous video.
So Tesla's at like 1,500. Did you buy a fractional share?
Yeah, fractional share at 1582, and it ended up being resold at like 1540 something or whatever when it was. So there maybe it was 1512, something terrible. We lost like $26 on the first one. So it's every 24 hours.
I thought you made money. On the one I saw you post, you made money.
Yeah, but I have to sell it. The rules of it is, I just posted the good screenshot because I'm showing people. It was about like 2 hours after is all it was. But I had not made anything yet because the rule is every 24 hours. So I have to do it. I'm selling it, which is about 10:45 a.m. my time. I have to sell it. You know, that's 24 hours. I go back and sell and sell and sell.
That's funny.
So we'll see where the 500 goes, up and down. But it's all the YouTube commenters pick it. You know, they're the ones deciding what happens. So it's just it's a big YOLO, you know.
It's just a 24-hour YOLO.
Yeah, every day, you know, until it's either zero or whatever it turns into, you know.
Yeah, so get after those pharmaceutical stocks that bounce up and down 28% a day.
Speaking of which, remember that one I was talking about? I was like, I put my money in whatever, like 6 months ago or something. It was like $1.60. It went up to like $7, and I didn't have any stock left, and I feel terrible.
Those like cannabis and pharmaceuticals, those stocks just bounce up and down like a roller coaster. Tesla is the same way as well. That thing will go up or down 10% in a day, no problem.
Dude, it's crazy.
And Tesla is about to enter the S&P 500. So,
what's the target price it needs for that?
It's a market cap type thing, so it's not determined by the stock price.
Oh, okay.
The stock price can be different depending on splits and all sorts of different.
Just
ways
a pure volume, then, eh?
Yeah. So it's market capitalization. It's the valuation of the company, how big they are. Are they in the top 500? And companies will slot in and out of the S&P 500.
Oh, I actually didn't know it was just pure evaluation only. I didn't know that's how it worked.
I think it is. I've never looked.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I just didn't know.
I'm sure somebody down in the comments will know the exact criteria of getting in and out of the S&P 500, but I thought it was just market capitalization.
No, it's pretty cool. Well, yeah, if that happens, when it just basically shoots straight up, I mean, you know, not moon, but I mean, that would be kind of a big. But that's probably priced in at this point, right? I mean, you would think.
I mean, but people have been saying Tesla's priced in since it was 500. So
yeah, true.
It's tripled since then in the last, year? It was like a year ago, it was 400, and now it's.
So I forget who it was, but I was watching this lady who was doing this series of interviews back when Tesla was worth like $199, and she was like their target price within 5 years was $3,000, and like basically everyone at CNBC and the other places she was doing the interviews were like laughing at her. Just basically straight laughing at her, like about like, no, like, you know, it's worth $199. Why would it be $3,000 and all that? And she was just nailing it in all the predictions about how each and individual car is basically data centers and it's a software company, not yada yada yada. And it was hilarious to watch these not even that long ago. You know, like interviewers who are people like the stock market people, like making fun of somebody making the correct prediction. You know what I mean?
Was it the lady from ARK Invest? I was trying to look up here on my.
Yeah, the one that now has like the $7,000 target market or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, the lady that runs ARK Invest and all their ETFs and stuff. I know.
Yeah, her name was like Chelsea Wells or something. What was that? I forget her name. And she was smart, man.
There's a few different ones, yeah. But that was just the first one that came to mind when you talked about calling Tesla years ago.
First one that came to my mind too, because that's why I brought it. That's all I got.
Yeah. I know I bought a lot of it back when it was like 400. So,
dude, nailed it.
I was digging it.
My dad bought it like 800, and then he sold recently. But it's one of those like 20/20 hindsight things where it's always like, I wish I had bought back then. So hindsight's 20/20, foresight's legally blind. Isn't that the term?
The stock market is the ultimate FOMO, which is fear of missing out, and hindsight cultivator. You'll feel like that every day about something.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot a random one at you. What about silver? How you feel about silver?
Silver, like the stock?
Yeah, like
the
SLV.
the commodity. The
Yeah,
commodity.
yeah.
Gosh, I stay away from silver. I got into silver once and did nothing but lose, and then I'm trapped and waiting for it to go up and recover my loss. And I eventually just sold it at a loss. I don't really do a whole lot of gold and silver watching and trading and keeping up on that. Not anymore.
I just do kind of fun stuff. I'll buy something for 24 hours and then sell it the next day. It's like, let's see how this goes. Well, you know, small amounts for the fun of it. So I bought, what was that? I bought silver at some stupidly way too high amount, right? So it's like, I'm going to sell it again for however much and see how that does tomorrow. But then I was like, oh yeah, it's Friday. So now I have to wait till Monday, you know, to see how it goes. It's like, all right, well, let's sit through the weekend.
I'm pretty opposite. I trade with money that I'm not going to touch for at least 10 years. Like once I deposit it into my trading account, that money's gone. Like I'm not going to access it for 10, 15 years. So I don't really worry on the day-to-day movement. So if things go down, I just dollar cost average and scoop up more if things are red. So that last crash in March of 2020, I mean, that was a great opportunity to buy in on more stuff.
That must have been the most painful time to look at a portfolio ever, though. Like just waking up.
Oh yeah.
It's like, well, I mean, I guess you're smart enough to know to buy more, but that would be a painful day, I would imagine. I was too much of a broke boy to have much of a portfolio then.
You just you're seeing 10,000 gone, 11,000 gone. The next day, 11,000. Next day, 8,000. You're just like, holy cow! Like, when's it gonna stop? But yeah, it was just hold steady, and then every 4 or 5 days, just buy more, dollar cost average on the way down. Because over the next 10 years, you're going to make it back at some point. You just got to try and stay calm, even though you just lost $55,000. Like, just stay calm, hold the course.
God, I feel like it's so scary to see. It's like what all the pandemic and stuff is supposed to be going on, right? Everyone's supposed to be sick and all this stuff. But yeah, we're at what, 26 and the all-time high is like 29 or something, right?
26 and the all-time high is 29. What do you mean?
Like the all-time high, point-wise, all-time.
Oh, you mean like the Nasdaq or the Dow or okay?
Because I'm curious.
Yeah, we've gotten pretty close to the highs of like late February. I think we've gotten pretty close.
Yeah, so I'm kind of wondering. It's like, are we really totally fine? You know what I mean? You have this huge dump. Yeah, look at the Nasdaq right now. It's nuts. It's like we're all the way back there.
I think we will see a pullback a little bit, maybe after the election. I'm
going to call you out. What are you predicting? Who's winning? But red versus blue, the big game, the match of the year, the grudge match.
Who do I think is going to win the election?
Yeah. Why not flip a coin on this one?
Probably Trump.
Okay, yeah. I mean, the history is that the person in normally stays.
Yeah, I mean, my whole lifetime, I don't think the incumbent has lost.
That's true, actually.
The first election I remember was 1992, and that was Clinton getting reelected, I think. And then
wasn't he technically impeached, if I remember correctly, but he stayed in office? Kind of the same thing.
Or no. 92, Clinton won, right? And then in 96, he got reelected. And then in 2000 was Bush, or George W. Bush in 2000.
And Al Gore?
And then in 2004, George W. Bush got reelected.
No, I mean, who was Bush versus in 2000? So I'm trying to remember. Was it Al Gore or was it, what's his?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Because, that was the whole internet's a series of tubes thing right then back in 2000. That whole meme was going on. Okay. Look at us going into politics, man. This is a whole, this podcast has a whole range of topics today.
We started at 3v3 Arena. We took a detour in the stock market. And
I like it.
Into politics. But I mean, I don't get into politics as much as I should. I try to follow it and be a good citizen, but I'm definitely not the expert to bring on your channel to talk politics.
Yeah, well, me neither. I to be honest, if you're an expert in politics, you're probably really stressed out. Is the way I see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's one of the craziest times in history for the whole world and America.
Yeah. What do you think there's truth behind the meme that everyone's like 2020 is the worst year ever?
I mean, geez, it feels like it. I mean, we can only speak to the 10 years we've been an adult or whatever, but man, it seems like it.
Yeah, there has been a few things thrown at us already.
I actually read an article about how like the millennial generation got so unlucky because of like tuition costs going up the highest and fastest they ever have for college for like post high school education, and the debt bubble of education, and then go right when you enter the workforce, you've got the 2008 housing market crash right when you're in the market to enter the workforce and buy a house, and then right when you're getting back on your feet from that, boom, pandemic. And this is just it's pretty rough to be a millennial in terms of kind of what's been thrown at us.
Well, unlucky, right? I thank God for YouTube. Yeah, without YouTube, it's like, God, I would have to go out and see people. I mean, I'm a big fan of sitting here in front of my monitor. I have to say, I have my best friend is I don't really have a name for the guy. But
are you like when the world was normal in 2019? Are you a social person? Like, do you go out to bars? Do you go out with friends?
I mean, like I'll go out with friends, yeah. But like I don't go to a bar by myself. But I like to go out to like the music store and like browse like the guitars and play the guitars, and I have some friends down there, and I don't really go out to bars because like it's expensive. I found like drinking out, and then it's like now I have to find my way home is always frustrating to me. It's like if I want to start, and in the process, I want to already be comfortable. So like I'm not really like a big bar drinker personally, but I do, I do social things, if that's the question.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a decently outgoing person, but I don't like go clubbing or go to the bars a whole lot. No, I mean, so yeah, it's a little bit rough because like I think I went 6 months darn near without like being around a friend like in person.
Yeah.
Because of so for people that are social, that can be kind of tough. I know that was a little bit of a struggle for me to just be locked in an apartment for 6 months by myself or whatever, but
yeah, man, it is actually it is pretty rough because my girlfriend lives 2 hours one way, right? So it's like, and she's like my best friend. So, I can talk to her over phone, which is great. And then I have, thank God for my friends that are local. Like I got a friend down at the music store. I got a couple of them down at the music store. I got my brother, lives just an hour away, so I can go see him. And then my parents actually live in the same town as me. So like I have that for seeing people. But, it really, I learned the value of friendship, I think, a lot this year. Because I've like gained a lot of new friends, both online and in person. And as I get older, I find that like friends are harder and harder to get and even harder to keep over long periods of time. And you really learn to value them, I think.
Friends, everybody, when you're in high school and stuff, you think like, oh, we're going to be friends forever. And then when you become an adult with a job and bills and the daily routine takes over, before you know it, it's been a year or two since you've seen somebody and you're like, wait, what happened?
Yeah.
Like
my best friend in the world, I haven't seen him in like 10 years, I mean, we still call each other all the time and talk, but it's like, he's got 3 girls, already. And he got married, joined the Marines, and had a kid at the age of 18, So it's like straight out of high school. See you in 20 years, 30 years when you're retired.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I have 2 people that I would equally call my best friend in real life. And, I only see them probably 3 times a year. It's just, when you're an adult, it gets tougher. And then especially when you throw in family and kids and career, it gets tough to get together and do anything.
Thank God no kids at our age. I mean, I back, 100 years ago, even last generation by our age, you're expected to have like 2 kids, 3 kids would be the average, I guess. I mean, I guess even now they're still pooping them out like crazy, but I mean, I couldn't imagine having, a pod of children, at this age.
When my parents were my age, I was 15. I can't imagine having a 15-year-old kid. Like my parents had me right out of high school.
Right.
So
like a lot of my friends, they had kids right out of high school.
When my parents hit their early 30s, I was 15. Like it's just crazy to think about that. Like I can't imagine having a 15-year-old kid right now.
God. And then well, Brad, all your portfolio, that's going to your kid's college. Congratulations.
That's right. Yeah,
Wiping
that's
you
right.
out.
That's right.
Well, I think we learned my good friend Brad's lifelong plans. If anyone out there wants to have a kid with Brad, he is looking.
That's right. Yeah.
So you can find him at Chofly Elite. And he is available, is what I'm hearing. I'm not seeing, in that green screen, he is in fact in front of a green screen. I'm not seeing the second shadow of anyone, waving for you to get off back over there. So it seems like he's ready and waiting, boys. Or girls, I mean, not boys. My bad.
Okay, edit out that whole.
All right, no, this never happened. It's clipped out.
I'm kidding. You don't have to put that out. It's fine.
You know me. I don't edit. Who edits, man? Then your content's like actually good. You gotta put time and effort into it.
I loved your video when you were like ranting and quitting Raid, and you're like, and this is why I'm just okay. 3, 2,
dude, because I up the edit, dude. I was like, it's so annoying because I will realize I said something and it's like, okay, that I said back. I have this thing where I'll flip flop the first letter of 2 words. So I'll be like, answer me will be like Manser E, and I'll be like, and so it's like it's a spoonerism. That's what it's called.
Okay, what you need to do. This is what I do when I make a mistake. I wait about 5 to 7 seconds because when I'm editing, I will see the break in audio and I will know there's a mistake to edit out. You can't. That's
what I should do.
Mid rant, be like, 3, 2.
I normally remember those cuts. See, I normally am like, okay, there was 1, 2, 3, and my problem is sometimes I'll wave. I'll go, and that's even more hilarious because then if I mess up that editing, it's 3, 2, and another thing.
Yeah, I just sit here in silence or like take a drink of my water or something, and then I'll see the break in the audio. I'll see the 7-second break in audio, and I'll know that's a mistake that was made, and I have to edit it out.
In this video,
I don't sit here and wave. And
in this video, DM and Brad figure out why movies have those clappers. We discovered it. We figured it out.
And it did, and it's always funny, if you do content long enough, you do hundreds of videos. Eventually, it happens to all of us. But yeah, I have a video where like. I forgot to edit it out. I'm sitting here like clearing my throat and like drinking water and just.
I do it all the time.
20 seconds of silence and just left it in. And people are like, "LOL, what was that?"
I do it all the time. I guarantee you there'll at least be one in this video. And normally, at least if one gets in, sometimes I just leave it because I think it's hilarious. And then it's somebody. There's always this one guy, and you know who you are out there, who Adams always leaves a comment with like the timestamp. That's all he does. So it's just like timestamp. It's like, oh, God, Adams. That means I did another one.
Yep. There's always, someone's always going to point it out.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you want more of my friend Brad, where can they find you?
I'll be streaming on Twitch at CF_chosen and YouTube at Chofly Elite. So yeah,
there it is. All right, we're going to go out with a dab. You ready? Give him a...